concerns a sixth nuclear test is imminent.
North Korea state media warned it was ready to conduct a nuclear strike on the United States in response to any signs of American aggression.
Take the toughest counteraction against those who have provoked us, and we will defend ourselves with powerful armed forces.
All right, guys, breaking news. Japanese warships to join U.S. fleet near North Korea as tensions rise. It's coming down to the point where we're actually getting on the coast here, so something's going to pop off. We got Japanese warships also joining in. Navy destroyers will join USS Carl Vinson for military drills amid fears Pyongyang plans further nuclear missile tests. It says Japan is preparing to send several warships to join a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group headed for the Korean Peninsula in a show of force designed to deter North Korea from conducting further missile and nuclear tests. Citing two well-placed sources who spoke on condition of anonymity, Reuters and Kyodo News Agency said several destroyers from Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Forces will join the USS Carl Vinson and its battle group as it enters the East China Sea. The move comes as the Chinese president called for calm in the region in a phone conversation with President Donald Trump. China is committed to the goal of denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, safeguarding peace and stability on the peninsula, and advocates resolving problems through peaceful means. China's president said, according to CCTV, the state broadcaster. The call came after a series of tweets in which Trump pressed China to be more active in pressuring North Korea to abandon its nuclear program. In a pair of tweets, Trump linked trade deals and the future of U.S.-China relationship to progress on reining in the regime's nuclear program. The U.S. president wrote, "North Korea is looking for trouble. If China decides to help, that would be great. If not, we will solve the problem without them. USA." In another tweet, Trump said he had told President of China any trade deal between the two countries would be far better for them if they solved the North Korean problem. The U.S. aircraft carrier was deployed from a planned visit to Australia and is sailing north from Singapore towards the Korean Peninsula as speculation mounts that Pyongyang is planning more missile launches to coincide with national anniversaries this month. North Korea watchers believe the regime could conduct missile tests on or around the 105th anniversary of the birth of the state's founder, Kim Il-sung, on Saturday, or on the 85th anniversary of the ruling Korean People's Army on the 25th of April. China is the North's only key diplomatic ally and its largest trading partner, providing a lifeline to the reclusive state. These are signs China is taking steps to squeeze North Korea and its erratic leader, Kim Jong-un. Chinese authorities have ordered trading companies to return North Korean coal shipments and banned all imports in late February. Okay, so it goes on to say, to bridge the gap, China started importing coal from the U.S. the first time in 2 years, a move that is likely to be viewed favorably in Washington. The sources said Japanese and U.S. ships would take part in joint exercises, including helicopter landings on each other's vessels and communications drills, as the Carl Vinson passed through the waters off Japan. The planned rendezvous is a further sign of increased cooperation between the U.S., Japanese, and South Korean navies. Last month, Aegis ships from the three countries held a joint drill to improve their ability to detect and track North Korean missiles. The Carl Vinson is powered by 2 nuclear reactors and carries almost 100 aircraft. Its strike group also includes guided missile destroyers and cruisers. A submarine is also expected to join the group. Japan wants to dispatch several destroyers as the Carl Vinson enters the East China Sea, one of the Japanese sources was quoted as saying. Reuters said one of the unnamed officials had direct knowledge of the plan, while the other had been briefed about it. Japan's self-defense forces have not commented on the report. Chinese media warned that the Korean Peninsula was closer to war than at any time since the North conducted the first of its 5 nuclear tests in 2006. The Global Times, a state-run tabloid, suggested Chinese public opinion was turning against North Korea and said harsher measures could be needed, including restricting oil shipments. North Korea can continue its tough stance, however, for its own security, it should at least halt provocative nuclear and missile activities, the paper wrote in an editorial. North Korea should avoid making mistakes at this time. A senior Japanese diplomat said the arrival of a U.S. naval strike group off the peninsula was designed to pressure North Korea into agreeing to a diplomatic solution to its ballistic missile and nuclear weapons programs. If you consider overall things such as the fact that the U.S. government has not put out warnings to its citizens in South Korea, I think the risk of military action at this point is not high, the diplomat had said. Some experts in South Korea said an imminent North Korean nuclear test was unlikely. Professor Kim Dong-yeob of the Institute of Far East Studies at Nanyang University told the Korean Times a ballistic missile launch was the most likely option, adding that the chances of a nuclear detonation were very low. On Tuesday, North Korea warned of catastrophic consequences in response to any further provocations by the U.S., days after the Carl Vinson began its journey toward the Korean Peninsula. We will hold the U.S. wholly accountable for catastrophic consequences to be entailed by its outrageous actions, North Korean state-run Korea Central News Agency quoted a foreign ministry spokesman as saying. North Korea is ready to react to any mode of war desired by the U.S. This was a Reuters news article. All right, guys, God bless.